You don't always know when you're undervaluing yourself because it doesn't look like weakness. It looks like being humble, like staying quiet when you should speak, like settling and calling it being realistic. You lower your standards. You doubt your abilities. You accept less than you deserve without even realizing it. And over time, it becomes your identity. I've seen this before. People don't lose confidence all at once. They lose it slowly, in small decisions they repeat every day. Marcus Aurelius once warned that your life becomes what your thoughts repeatedly tell you. So if deep down you believe you're not enough, you will live like it. Hello everyone, welcome to the Mind Awakening channel. In this video, you'll uncover 9 hidden signs that reveal a truth most people avoid. You're not lacking potential. You've just been underestimating yourself for far too long. Now, let's get started. Sign number 1. You constantly downplay your achievements. When something goes right, you don't celebrate it. You minimize it. It wasn't a big deal. Anyone could have done that. I just got lucky. And at first it feels like humility. But over time, it becomes self-erasure. You train your mind to ignore your own progress, to dismiss your own effort, to overlook your own growth. Marcus Aurelius believed that you should take pride in doing what is right, not pretend it means nothing. Because when you constantly downplay yourself, you slowly convince your mind that you're not worth recognizing. And if you can't acknowledge your own value, you'll keep accepting less from the world. Sign number 2. You apologize. Even when you've done nothing wrong. Sorry. You say it too often. For things that don't require an apology. Someone interrupts you. You say sorry. Someone misunderstands you. You say sorry. Something goes wrong that wasn't your fault. You still say sorry. And without realizing it, you position yourself as the problem. Over time, this habit rewires how you see yourself. You start believing you're always in the wrong, always the one who needs to adjust. Stoicism teaches responsibility, but not self-blame. There's a difference. And when you blur that line, you give away your self-respect one apology at a time. Sign number 3. You settle for less than you deserve. You know deep down, something isn't right. The job, the relationship, the way people treat you. But instead of walking away, you adjust. You tell yourself, at least it's stable. At least it's not worse. Maybe this is just how life is. But that voice isn't realism. It's resignation. Epictetus taught that you accept what you believe you deserve. And that's the uncomfortable truth. Because the moment you believe this is enough, you stop reaching for what could actually fulfill you. And slowly, you build a life that feels safe, but never truly yours. Before we continue, have you ever caught yourself accepting less than you deserve and pretending it was okay? Take a moment and share your answer in the comments. Your experience might help someone else recognize what they've been ignoring. And if this video is making you reflect on yourself, consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us keep creating content that truly awakens and empowers. Now, let's continue. Sign number 4. You avoid opportunities because you don't feel ready. You tell yourself you need more time, more knowledge, more confidence, more preparation. So you wait, and while you're waiting, opportunities pass. Not because you weren't capable, but because you didn't believe you were. Perfection becomes your excuse. Fear disguises itself as being responsible. Marcus Aurelius believed that action is what shapes a person, not endless hesitation, because the truth is, you will never feel fully ready. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes from it. And every time you hold yourself back, you reinforce the belief that you're not enough. Sign number 5. You let others decide your worth. You look at how people treat you, and you use that as a measure of your value. If they respect you, you feel worthy. If they ignore you, you feel small. Without realizing it, you hand over your identity to other people. Their opinions become your mirror. Stoicism teaches that your worth is internal, not something others get to define, because people project their own biases, insecurities, and limitations, and if you depend on them to feel valuable, you will always feel unstable. The moment you take that power back, you stop shrinking based on how others see you, and start standing based on how you see yourself. Sign number 6, you talk yourself out of your own potential. You have ideas, ambitions, things you want to try. But before you even begin, your mind shuts it down. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if it doesn't work? So you don't start, not because you can't, but because you convinced yourself you shouldn't. Epictetus taught that it's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. And your judgment is already limiting you, because the biggest tragedy is not failure. It's never finding out what you are capable of, simply because you doubted yourself too soon. Sign number 7. You stay silent when you should speak. You have opinions, you have ideas, you have something to say, but you hold it back because you think, what if I'm wrong? What if they judge me? What if I'm not good enough to speak? So you stay quiet. And each time you do, you reinforce the belief that your voice doesn't matter. Marcus Aurelius believed that you have a duty to live in truth, not hide from it, because your voice is not something you earn. It's something you already have. And the longer you suppress it, the harder it becomes to believe in it. Sign number 8. You seek permission to be yourself. You don't fully express who you are. You wait for approval, for validation, for someone to tell you it's okay to be yourself, so you adjust, you filter, you hold back parts of you to fit in, and slowly you lose clarity on who you really are. Stoicism teaches self-sufficiency, not dependence on external validation, because the moment you need permission to be yourself, you give others control over your identity. And that's where self-worth begins to fade. You were never meant to be approved. You were meant to be authentic. Sign number 9. You doubt yourself. Even when you're right, you know the answer. You feel the truth. But still, you hesitate. You second guess. You overthink. You look to others for confirmation. And even when you're right, you don't trust it. This is one of the deepest signs of self-doubt, because it's not about knowledge, it's about belief. Epictetus taught that confidence comes from aligning your judgment with reason, not from external approval. But when you stop trusting your own mind, you disconnect from your own power. And the more you ignore your inner voice, the quieter it becomes. Until one day, you don't hear it at all. Conclusion. You don't lose your self-worth all at once. You lose it in small moments. When you stay silent instead of speaking. When you settle instead of choosing better. When you doubt yourself instead of trusting what you already know. And over time, those small moments become your identity. The deeper lesson is this. You don't need to become more. You need to stop shrinking who you already are. Start applying this today. Notice where you hold back, where you apologize unnecessarily, where you wait for permission, and then do the opposite. Speak, even if your voice shakes. Choose better, even if it feels uncomfortable. Trust yourself, even if you're not 100% certain, because self-worth is not something you find, it's something you practice. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that awakens, challenges, and transforms. And remember, you were never less than. You just forgot. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next videos.